We ended up sort of clearing this sort of feature we used to call Cave Shrine Complex. This lad and myself were sort of advancing towards this position. We started taking a lot of incoming fire, and he got hit, and he just sort of dropped next to me. I carried on, and then sort of started engaging. But I feel that I should have stayed. And the whole sort of guilt is actually this guy dropped, and I had no idea whether he was alive or dead. When I think about it, I can still really quite vividly see that. I feel I've had to do a lot of work around that with psychiatrists and other bits and pieces. It just sort of feels really the level of guilt and sort of the anxiety and stuff is still quite real. Do you know what I mean? Like I can feel my heart going now. Do you know what I mean? It's just it doesn't leave you. I felt older. I already had a level of experience and knowledge about if it goes, it's going. This is how it's going to happen. It killed 2 lads. It killed 3 lads actually. So there was an Afghan lad on the vehicle who unfortunately died, and then there were two of my teammates. So Rob McKibben, who I'd been through training with and sort of predominantly sort of a lot of the career with, he was killed. He was the driver, and Neil Dunstan, who was top cover, who was also killed. So that for me was the end. That whole situation. It was almost like watching a movie. It is surreal to see that go off. And then I just sort of broke down at the scene. I think if you sort of historically read about it, it's shell shock. All I can really remember is just sort of it's sort of just hearing the burning and all the ammunition cooking off on the vehicle. It's like fireworks basically. All this tracer and stuff going off, and that was it. I won't go into any more detail if that's all right. Because I have all 4 limbs, there's nothing physically wrong with me. And some people sort of look at you and go, well, you can sit here in front of a camera and you can tell me your story, and so there can't be anything wrong with you because you can talk about it. At the moment, I can kind of talk about it and I feel semi in control. There's things that I can do when I'm asleep. I can't do any of that, so I don't have any control over it. And there'll be nightmares and there'll be flashbacks and other bits and pieces, and it just sort of, wake up. It can be really scary, and for a couple of minutes, you are there again. You're not at home or anywhere safe. You are there again. When I was diagnosed, I had various therapies, lots of medications, and none of it's really worked for me. It just helped me to realise that actually being in that environment was the way forward for me. Being outside and being in the fresh air, being in the open, it just sort of makes you, it's kind of like throwing a heavy coat off. It makes you able to breathe again. I've sort of got to the point now where I'm sort of pursuing a career in the outdoor industry to sort of then give back something. The Royal Marine Charity have helped me with sort of some business startup stuff and some advice and guidance and sort of some networking opportunities, but they've also sort of helped me physically with sort of contributions towards sort of purchasing equipment and qualifications and other bits and pieces like that. There's that whole understanding on the battlefield where we don't leave anybody behind. Where I was initially and sort of the mindset that I was in, was a really negative space, and if I was just trying to find my way on my own, I wouldn't have been able to do this. It's that light at the end of a tunnel, you potentially travelling down this sort of dark tunnel. You don't know what's happening, you know, it's all uncertainty. You don't really know what's at the end, you don't know where it's going to lead to and so on, and you're quite angry and all this sort of negativity, and then all of a sudden at the end of this tunnel the Royal Marines charity's there and just sort of, you know, puts their arm around you and just go, look, you know, this is who we are, this is what we do, and you're still part of this core family. You know, you're never actually going to leave. You may be a civilian, but you're still a Royal Marine. You've earned that lid, and it's going to be with you for the rest of your life.